All right, good evening, friends. How's everybody doing? Glad to see you guys. Um, so this is the first video I'm making that isn't on my Chromebook. I bought that thing like fresh off the assembly line. I really liked it. Now I got a Windows laptop. It's just not the same. But hopefully, um, this laptop costs like twice as much as the Chromebook. So hopefully the quality is there. I mean, the camera looks better. It looks more crisp. So yeah, the Chromebook, the audio and the video started going their own ways. Like it wasn't synced up anymore. So we got a new one. All right. What I want to talk about that is kind of disgusting to me, I'm going to try to not get angry and go off on a tangent that could probably land me on a couple lists. Um, so, about 2 weeks ago, the Fed, fuck the Fed were saying we need to get involved in Bitcoin and get our cut. They couldn't make that work, apparently. Which I don't. I bought Bitcoin. I made monies off of Bitcoin, but I'm still not entirely sure that it's not the most professional rug pull of all time. It's the long game rug pull. Okay, what that is, long game just means over a long period of time. But the rug pull is when you get a bunch of people onto something, onto the rug, and they got money into it, and then you just pull the rug out from under them and disappear with everybody's money. Still totally possible. So they said, hey, let us get a cut. We're the government. You either give us a cut or shit goes bad for you. Apparently that didn't happen. So now the Fed made up a bunch of lies. That's just what they do, though. They made up a bunch of lies about consumer protection, competitive dollars, and all that sort of shit. And now they say that they will either regulate or they will ban Bitcoin. Okay? I had my fun. I personally don't care about Bitcoin in the slightest. I do think that it's wrong, but anything that has to do with the Fed is wrong. What I want to talk about is not just how this works, as far as render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but what is it that is within these elected officials that makes them want to regulate things that don't need regulated, can't be regulated, and are none of their fucking business to begin with. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about, getting angry and going on a rant. That just happens because I know that the majority, a solid 80% of people, believe anything that they read. So when the Fed has different media organizations printing out articles saying that Bitcoin's dangerous, it can undermine democracy, which, come on guys, is that a joke? It can devalue the dollar, which, come on guys, is that a joke? It can be used to support Russia in its fight against the Ukraine, which, come on guys, is that a joke? That's the point. They print off a bunch of nonsensical lies. They're lies. That's what they are. They're lies. The same way that Canada labeled peaceful protesters terrorists, the same way that they seized the bank accounts without any sort of due process. They seized the bank accounts of those exact same people for literally nothing. Whoops. Times. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So, in case you've seen me lifting this boy up, this is my 1911. It's a Rock Island, one of the smoothest, well-crafted machines ever. Ever. It's beautiful. 45, in case you were wondering. So this is the issue, right? The federal government can pump out garbage information, and 80% of the people that read it will say, oh yeah, Bitcoin is it's dangerous, it can undermine our democracy, having no fucking idea what they're actually talking about. They just repeat what they heard. And to them, the federal government is a legitimate source of authority. They believe that the federal government is actually in some kind of control. And so they'll repeat them talking points without ever actually understanding anything with depth. They'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, but they can't tell you who, what, where, when, why, how. None of it. All they do is repeat the same shit, go along with it. They do it with everything. They did it with the truckers. They did it with 9/11, weapons of mass destruction. And then we went, I'm sorry, not we, they went and killed hundreds of thousands of people that did nothing wrong. Nothing whatsoever, did nothing wrong. They lied, killed those people, and still nobody's going to do shit about it. They never do. They keep reading lies on their TV and keep doing nothing and repeating that shit. It's absurd. To me and you, I'm sure, people who know the truth, who see these things clearly, it's obvious. It's just crazy to know what things could be and why they'll never be that way. Never. Somebody created a system of currency. So let's just pretend for a second that the story that we were given by these same people that lie constantly, the story that we were given, let's pretend that was true. A man created a currency that it's impossible to manipulate, it's impossible to track it, it's impossible to take it, and it's a foolproof currency that can't be corrupted. The federal government didn't get any action. They didn't get any money off that. They don't get to let their fucking friends get loans and contracts and shit. So they're either going to get that, they're either going to get the ability to give big fat sums of money to who they want, or Bitcoin's going bye-bye. That's just it. Oh man, I hate the Fed. I swear I do. So, as I was saying here, my question is, what is it, right? Because we know that, if I had to guess, I would say it has something to do with the mind and the energy of the individual when it merges with something, like a group of people, like when you join a cult, right? Your mind begins to shape itself into theirs, and your energy melds, it molds, and you become one energy as a bunch of individuals in that group. It's the same thing with the Fed, right? When somebody accepts a job, we'll say, in the federal government, their mind begins shaping itself in the patterns of the federal government. A lot of people get jobs with these governments and go on power trips, which those are my absolute favorite people to shut down. Because the truth is, even if you were like a king that lived in a castle and you were a legit king, I'd still tell you go fuck yourself. I guess that's just me. But their mind begins to shape itself like everyone else in that hive mind. They become part of that energy. Slowly, over time, they just become part of the Borg. If you don't know who the Borg is, watch part of Star Trek that has the Borg in it, because it's just spectacular. It's a hive mind. But what is it about these these people at the top of these governments, whether state or federal, what is it that makes them want to do these things to begin with? Do they actually think that they're, well, see, that's the thing. There's no way that they actually believe the bullshit that they say. There's no way. Okay? It's just not possible. These people have access to more information than anyone on the planet. There's no fucking way that they believe the shit that they say. It's more likely that these lies and this misinformation, which is literally what the government is, it's all misinformation. Those things are said intentionally to bend and shape things into the way that they want. It's really fucking crazy. I can't figure it out for the life of me. What is it that makes these people want to do this? How do you see people living peacefully? A good example, right, is I think it was Bundy, the Bundy Ranch. I could be wrong, but it was a bunch of people who were minding their own business, they weren't bothering anybody. They were just living on this ranch by themselves, away from the federal government. The federal government stormed the place, threw them on TV as terrorists, and then forced them to integrate into society after they finished hefty prison sentences. Because if you escape this fucking beast, it will hunt you down. People say we need to go and we need to build a city separate, and we have people playing roles, essentially, like doctors and farmers and butchers, whatever it may be. We need to create a new society separate from this one. That won't work, because they will hunt you down. They will hunt you down, demonize you, call you terrorists, a death cult, fucking devil worshippers, whatever it takes to get public opinion against you. I really, I wish people understood, like, how big this beast is. It's insane. Let's say you did that. Let's say you started your own, you went out into the woods. Let's just say that it was public land, because, I mean, even if it is, it doesn't matter, because the Fed's still coming. You went out onto public land. You created, you cleared out trees. You flattened out the area. You built houses up. And you created a community separate from society. One of two things is going to happen. The Fed is either going to brutalize you, and by that I mean use aggressive tactics to destroy what you've created, or they would get to you economically, because in some sense you're still going to have to mingle with society, whether you need food or something else, whatever it may be. They're going to cut off your life support. They're going to cut off your lifeline. People really don't understand how this is going to go. How this goes, I'm sorry. And see, it's really difficult for me, because I will buck and buck and buck and buck and buck. I will never, ever integrate into this society. I can't do it. I see what they do. They listen to songs, WAP, that disgusting shit. They play it for their children. Their entertainment has to be violent. They're immoral. They're fucking disgusting, and I will never ever integrate into that. I can't do it. Can't do it. The school, the public schools, started throwing masks on children based on a lie. Don't forget that part. Based on a lie. Threw masks on children. Wanted to inject them. I forgot about that. And did a bunch of other cruel things to children. These parents didn't even bat an eye. That's not a big deal. I trust the government. Man, what is it? What is it about these people that makes them want to do this? Not in a it's my job kind of way, because you literally have to force people to do their jobs these days. Anywhere you go, nobody wants to do their job. They want money. They don't want to do anything for it. That's the way that it goes. People are just lazy, I guess. I'm sure maybe that ends at some level. And I know some people just love working, like myself. I find things that I like to do, and that's how I make my money, from things I like doing. Ever since I was a child, my favorite saying was, if you have a job you like or love, you'll never work a day of your life. And so that's what I do. I do work that I like doing, and it's not work. It's fun, you could say. It's enjoyable at very least. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. I just was wondering if maybe somebody had an idea. What is it about, like Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all these weirdos, that makes them want to regulate and destroy things that are good? If I had to guess, I'd say it's obviously the physical, the flesh is a reaction. Everything that happens physically is a reaction to something happening spiritually, psychologically. But we'll end this video there. I want to add that not only did I, from the day that the mandates, the masks, and the social distancing, not only did I call bullshit and call everything that day, I called a lot of it. It's really not hard. To be honest, the group of people that are thrown in a box and labeled conspiracy theorists, they nailed every bit of it. They didn't miss a single part. Proud of them. They killed it. 10 out of 10. 100 out of 100. They got everything. Didn't miss nothing. Not a single thing. From the first month that this thing happened, they said, first, this is BS, and this is being used to bring in this thing, this thing, this thing. When they get those 3 things, then they can get these other 10 things. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it. So, kudos to them. But I made a video saying there was a medical manufacturing corporation whose name starts with a PF. Apparently, you ain't even allowed to say that anymore. And that company received the largest fine of all time of any medical company for knowingly. Hold on, let me get this right. They were paying doctors. They were giving them money under the table to prescribe medicine that they knew did not work and had incredibly dangerous side effects. They were paying doctors to prescribe that medicine to people, and they knew what it would do. Largest medical fine in history. And it didn't even touch the amount of profits that they made from that medicine. They made $400 billion. They got a fine for $2 million, for example. It cost a lot of lives, but they made a lot of money. That's the worst part about that. These corporations don't care about life. They're dead. They can't know life. They know numbers. They know data. They know money. That's it. They can't understand these things. But that same company, so I'm just trying to hurry, sorry. This same company asked the United States government to release their findings from everybody taking these shots. The Fauci ouchie, Um, there was others. I'm not going to play nicknames right now. The Fauci ouchie. They wanted that information sealed up for 75 years. The federal government said nah, which is really surprising. Um, you're going to release a lot of it immediately, and then you're going to release 500 pages on the first of every month for so long. So now we know that there were over 12,000 deaths and other stuff. Um, so whenever when I get the chance and I find those papers, which it'll be soon because I just remembered it. I'm gonna go through them, find some good notes, find how things went, and I'll present that to you guys with links to find the information. Obviously, if I get in there and I see information that says that this was in fact a legitimate medical illness that was created naturally, and these shots actually did prevent infection, then I will absolutely present that to whoever wants to see it. Truthfully, I don't mind being wrong. In fact, this time, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they actually did help the 80% of the global population that took that fucking shot. I hope they did help them. But common sense would tell you that's not the case. Um, all right, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go look for that information, see what I can find. So just if you have an idea what it is that is within these people that makes them want to regulate things that don't need regulated and are doing just fine. Why the fuck does this government always need a cut? Why? Share your ideas with me. So next time, a couple days, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I want to talk about this idea of it's essentially a Messiah complex. It's a lot deeper than that, though. Every man in every aspect of his life is awaiting a Messiah. Whether you're thinking about finances all the time and you're worried about money and Bitcoin was your Messiah, or the government is the Messiah for a lot of people, which is funny because the government is literally the people that crucified Christ. There's always a Messiah in every area of a man's life that he's looking for. He's always looking for someone to come save him, and he never actually finds the true Messiah that's within. That's what we're going to talk about next time. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Sorry I keep talking about the world, but it really bothers me. I wish I could help, but you can't help people that don't want helped. Love y'all.